Happy Monday. Happy Monday, guys. Coach V here. Welcome to another Made New Monday. And so every Monday, we talk a little bit about the new episode that will be dropping later on this morning. And this week, we are going to be talking about the topic maximum capacity. So, the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about um, why you're still carrying certain things. We've talked about maybe it's time to unpack some of that stuff. And now this week, we're going to talk about maximum capacity. We've all been at that place in our lives where we have reached our maximum capacity, when we have been overtaxed, overcommitted, stressed out, just ready to just pull our hair out. And so we're going to talk this week about reaching that maximum capacity. When is the last time that you sat and really thought about all of the things that you commit yourself to? Why you are still so committed to some things that may not be the season for it. There may be times, that we need to walk away from certain things. We've been committed to it for a long time. Sometimes we have to just take a moment to just unpack it and look at everything and make a decision as to whether this is still serving me, or is this something that really the time and the season may be up for this, because maybe we desire to do something different. Say if you want to lose weight, but you spend 30 minutes every day scrolling on social media. You could take that 30 minutes and do a brisk walk. That will help you mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, and it can definitely help you spiritually, because you can talk to God and He can talk to you while you're taking that brisk walk. That will help you to recognize when you have reached your maximum capacity, or when your cup is almost empty. So, we have some practical things that we talk about in this week's episode that will just help you to just stop and take a moment to reevaluate. I'm really big on really stopping and taking the time to check in with yourself, where you are mentally, where your heart is, what your heart posture is at that time. Take the time to evaluate those things, and then come up with a plan or a strategy to maybe make some changes and some adjustments going forward, so that you're not at this place where you are stressed out, where you are overtaxed, where you feel like you've overcommitted yourself. It's time to let God in so that He can help you to prioritize, organize, and strategize. And so we talk a little bit about that in this week's episode of the podcast, in going forward, coming up with a new plan and a new strategy for your life going forward, as you continue to be made new, as you continue on this journey of this thing called life, and walking in your God-given purpose and allowing His will and His plan to manifest in your life. And so every week we have a transformative thought. I like to share it in this little short video every week, so you know where we're coming from, that it can be something that you really just take the time over the course of the week to just think about. Sometimes they're even good meditations or good affirmations that you can speak to yourself, to be intentional about the choices and decisions that you make from this point going forward. And so this week's transformative thought is: I will no longer be afraid to exercise and enforce my boundaries. And so this week we talk a lot about boundaries and why that's important. We talk about the importance of saying no, two of the strongest letters, I think, in the alphabet that were put together. And so we talk about enforcing those boundaries, stating those boundaries and making them clear. Learning to, be able to say no, and not make exceptions, and be okay with the fact that some people may not understand your boundaries, but be okay with enforcing them. Be okay with implementing them and enforcing them and applying them where you are in your life, what you're already committed to, the things that you know are very important. Again, letting God help you prioritize, organize, and strategize, so that you're not burned out, that you're not burning the candle at both ends, that you have nothing left to give to your children or to your spouse or even to yourself, because you are the main priority. You have to make sure that your cup is always full and that everybody else is getting the overflow. They should never be drinking from your cup, but they should be getting the overflow. I like to even say that they should be getting what's in the sauce, or what's running out of the saucer. They should be getting what's falling on the floor. But your cup should always be full. But if you're always giving and you're not taking time for yourself, if you're not even committing to taking that good nap on a Saturday afternoon sometimes, then it's easy to reach that maximum capacity. It's easy to be overloaded. It's easy to be short-tempered and become frustrated and irritated with people because you're tired, because you're exhausted. That's why it's so important to have a good self-care routine in place. Commit to doing something for yourself every week or every 2 weeks, whatever is best for you. Even if it's to say, I'm going to take an hour nap on Saturday. Once I get some chores done, I'm just going to sit back and take a good nap. Commit to those things so that you have a chance to unwind, that you have a chance to process all of the things that are going on in your life. If it's taking a good soak in the tub, do those things for yourself. Serve yourself first. So when you go out and give, when you go out and be that great mother, when you go out and be that great wife, when you go out and you're that great employee, that great co-worker, that you're giving from a place where you're full, that you're not stressed out. Go take that exercise class, go work out, do what you need to do to blow off some steam, give back to yourself so that when you give, you do it from a place of joy, that love is apparent, that God is speaking and showing up in you and through you as you do the things that He's called you to do. Don't do it out of drudgery or an attitude or because I have to be here, but let the joy of the Lord truly be your strength, that people will know that they've been with God when they've been with you. And that's where you are at maximum capacity, is that God is just overtaking you, that you've surrendered all of those things to God and you don't worry about, things that you have no control over. Sometimes we can even reach that maximum capacity because we're so busy trying to control every area of our life. We're putting our fingers in the Kool-Aid and it's not even meant to be there. God is like, I got this. Why are you trying to handle it? Why are you trying to do it? My answer is far better. But because you sitting here being impatient, you're reaching your maximum capacity. You're stressed out. You're not sleeping well at night. You're overeating because you're stress eating. You're not eating enough. You're not drinking your water and minding your business like you should because you're trying to take care of everything and everybody. And I'm here trying to tell you to let me handle this for you. And so when we sit back and go, God, after the fact, then all of those things come into play. But then we get up and we do the same thing over and over again. And so we're going to make a decision to break that cycle. And we're going to implement and enforce boundaries. We're going to learn to say no. We're going to learn to not overcommit ourselves. We're not going to just say yes to everything if it is not directly connected to our purpose and not directly connected to something that God is trying to do. We got to seek Him for the wisdom and understanding and the knowledge to make good, godly decisions that are going to be pleasing to Him, that He is continued to be glorified in us and through us. And we're not going to keep doing these fleshly things because we're just trying to cover all of the bases. Sometimes we just have to let the chips fall where they may. When we've done all that we can do, we've got to just make a decision to say, God, you know what? I'm just taking my hands off of this. I'm at my maximum capacity. I've done everything that I know to do. I've been in the way far too long. This should have been yours to begin with. I should have just let you handle this in the first place. And so when we have that wisdom, that is our response. We quickly go to that instead of trying to come up and formulate our own plan. God, You see what's going on. I need your plan. I need you to organize this. I need your strategy because I know it is perfect and it is going to make everything work out just the way that you intended it to work out in the first place. So here you go. Have your way, God. I trust you with every area of my life. I trust you to do what is best for me, for my children, for my household. I trust you for what you're going to do on this job through my coworkers and my boss. I am just the conduit. I'm your open, willing vessel. Have your way and let you take root in me. Let you rise up in me. And that has to be our prayer. And when we do that, God just activates. He dispatches his angels and he goes to work. And then he gets the glory. And then he is well pleased because then we're saying we want to draw closer to him. We want to be closer. We trust him with everything. And that way we don't reach our maximum capacity of frustration and irritation and anger because we're trying to do too much, but that he is taking care of the things that we cannot take care of. Amen. Amen. So I hope that you will take the time to listen to Maximum Capacity this week. You can find Transformative Talk with Coach V on Spotify. You can find it on Apple, and you can find the podcast on Anchor. Thank you for joining me this week for another Made New Monday. Remember, today is a great day to be made new, and I am always, always rooting for you. I'll see you guys next week.